step-free, I guess, in our mutual exploratory journey of humoring the works of DIANNE van Giersbergen, wherever her career has taken her. And it is quite the artist spotlight deep dive journey we're taking, and one I told you I've been waiting to get to for months now in initiating work, and so far, 2 chapters have either nearly or completely been met. And 2 more steps incoming, whether it be ex libris, I'm getting to that chapter of her career very soon, or right now, some of her collabs. I told you I cataloged a couple of these references, at least as they were presented, to what's available from her. Because, I like investigating collaborations, and as well through that, discovering new names. And we have opportunities on, for today, 3 encounters of more developments incoming, I believe. Anyway, starting with Archie Caine, and this one's been sitting for a little while now, not just again to the DIANNE van Giersbergen credit, but Archie as well. There's a bit of a charm that I see in terms of getting to this particular presentation, and as many of you know, continuing my self-led deep dive journey, self-led asterisk with the caveat that many of you are helping me along the way via providing countless recommendations in the comment sections, which I rely on, and again, I catalog everyone to the best of my ability, and slowly but surely we get to many points of deserved attention within the European metal market. I speak of it so highly because it's true, and DIANNE van Giersbergen is just the latest addition alongside Archie Caine and Damian Wilson. 2 fresh appearances here for me again with the Archie Caine and Damian Wilson name credits. But that's the beauty about collaborations, right? It's a networking model, or it can be, to discover new names. One artist might be your draw, in this case DIANNE is, and I'm sure she'll be a great fit here to whatever the vision takes us within meeting the Angel. I believe she's being described as the Angel. I'm not exactly sure, but if so, she qualifies. Certainly, again, as I've said, with her capability as a spinto soprano singer, one of the freshest appearances to me in terms of my favorites list of European leading ladies, notably of an operatic extreme. And there are many to catalog, with more on the way in terms of phase 2 considerations, where we're currently sitting with a wide body of artists. But DIANNE, just the latest attribution and quickly becoming a favorite of mine. I'm sure she'll be a great fit here to whatever path Archie Caine's work embarks on. I'm really curious to look at it at a deeper level, and plus, I did do some light reading just to understand where every artist is from in this case. Damian Wilson, I believe now, he is a solo artist, I think, but has spent time with Headspace and Threshold. Other name references that maybe we'll get to at a later date. Again, I catalog each one I'm presented, whether it be via you or perhaps the collaborative model. We see that quite often with many recommendations, and we go down those threads at some point. Like I've done in the past, I'll put those names on the list. Anyway, and Damian Wilson as well, considering the solo efforts attribution. But Archie Caine, I did some light reading upon entrance to understand where he's coming from as an artist, and it's a roughly limited window from the bio that I saw, but it was a good enough background, I think, to put a promising direction before us. I don't know what the preferred genre is. I'm assuming something of maybe a symphonic nature. We'll see, maybe something a bit departing from that. But he certainly has plenty of inspirations that fall into mutual company, at least from the ones he's recognized. Evanescence, who I have in the waiting wings. They're part of phase 2, in fact. We're going to be getting to some of their newer pieces together, but I've known about Evanescence for a little while now. Or, in the European wheelhouse, I'd say with Evanescence with the Amy Lee credit as an inspiration. Floor Jansen from Nightwish, and Tarja Turunen. I'm not sure if I pronounced that name correctly, but I know that one is coming. I have to, I think, widen that out, in fact. Melissa Bonney, big favorite of mine. DIANNE, of course, and Simone Simons of Epica. That one is also on part of Phase 2's considerations. Many of those we're either getting to, but I know every one of those names of high caliber for at least a little window I know of them, or have experienced. And considering the DIANNE attribution, how cool to have the opportunity to perform with your inspiration or one of them. Let's witness it together. I'm sure this will be quite a performance. Anything involving DIANNE really is, but in terms of our introduction to Archie Caine, with more developments coming, and Damian Wilson as well, I think this will be quite a glowing piece. I can't wait to see the direction in a good 5-minute window, so a pretty elongated number with, I believe, a second follow-up entry coming up shortly. I'm really looking forward, though, to hearing more pieces from DIANNE's work with all of you. Again, it's a fun journey we're taking together. I hope you would agree. Though, again, maybe you're approaching from introductory eyes. And it's very much a subjective art, so whatever your response is, of course, is your own determination. But however you approach, I want this to be a welcome mat for everybody, longtime fans of DIANNE or fresh initiate listeners. I hope you really come to like her if this is a first tasting. You should totally go down deeper roots of investigation of past work that we've explored together, notably Zandria and certainly DIANNE. You should 100% humor those works. With Diana, the evolving journey that it will be with the 2 numbers we have thus far of the year, but such good pieces. I can't get over how adventurous they are, and deep as symphonic listens and just on their themes too. Truly contemplative work. Let's continue to expand our perspective of her and give her her due as a very recognizable, it should be at the very least to everybody, European-based metal and operatic credit with her involvement of Archie Caine and Damian Wilson via Meeting the Angel.
Who are you?
You can think of me as an angel.
True. Angel, Metal Queen, the top, however we choose to cite her, I think are correct attributions. Sentimental Visualizer, again, good fantasy veneer already. Angelic Soprano, I love that. Wow. Again, that mixed range, how she floats around, specifically again with those higher notes, truly amazes me, and the natural vibrato pattern that swings in, quite an endearing welcome entrance to the number. Which seems a bit conceptual in implication given the narration beginning. I don't know. We'll see, I guess, from the window we have today. This is one of the softest pieces of entertain from her. That mixed application point is really interesting, isn't it?
And what is here?
Plenty of harder pieces we've seen her succeed in.
The sounds of hope and
This one really takes things down, but
the world of man was lost to Tommy. In its place, this angel with her lovely face, with ancient eyes all filled with care, and radiant with crimson hair. She cares for all who end their days as Tommy did, with love betrayed, and so he followed where she led.
atmospheric fantasy. It does come across, like I said, highly conceptual. That's a great description, considering the visuals that we're watching right now. Totally fits. Really drawn number, not bad. Slight amplification, continued change, or continued same rhythm, I believe. Just more deliberate symphonic cues, notably on the percussion side, or a simulator of that effect. Good build, but still again, very much on the softer side to Diana's appearances, and she really does ballad well.
A child said, "What is the grass?" Fetching it to me with full hands. How could I answer the child? I do not know what it is any more than he. Now it seems to me the beautiful, uncut hair of graves. And what do you think has become of those who lay in them? They are alive and well somewhere. The smallest sprout shows there is really no death. And if
It's a great story.
ever there was, it led toward life.
Quite reachable, I think, in terms of detail work and emotions. It's becoming clear, plus the very light animation style, which is really nice with dramatic pictures, notably a pix reel. I like the method of delivery here on this one, but it is appealing to, again, the lyrical sentiment. Good immersion. good reach of a number and feed into our next entry. Just knowing what's coming and the pieces we are humoring in a specific order of consideration. A good welcome mat, though, at a bit of a differentiation point of familiarity with exposures here, notably in the symphonic metal regard. I guess my eyes glazed over it with the bio. There's a specific identification between alternative music and symphonic metal, and the inspirations in particular. Inspired by the women fronting the genre beyond anything else. I'm pulling it from that bio, and certainly who he lists, oh yes, either from what I know or what we've experienced together in a quite robust examination with some credits. And with Dianne, we're building out a list. But what a cool sensation, I would imagine, to feature again an inspiration of yours, and one that totally fits on her extremes within a ballad appearance, which again, Dianne has mixed application to her voice, and truly it's such an atmospheric delivery however she approaches a number. On this one, though, I'm thinking of what we've surveyed, and Zandria has offered a bit of a mixed palette in regards to what sound numbers flesh out, notably of a harder edge, and usually that tone maintained, with some departures. And there's been a couple, I forget the one exactly by name at the moment, but there is one that I'll reference it in post. It's in fact, I believe encompassed largely of a piano score. That one allows, as I said there, her voice be fleshed out well on a softer extreme. This one really takes time as a number, driven by fantasy, but an ethereal quality to her voice that certainly matches the description of an angel, I would think. And I believe the narration structure is provided by Damian Wilson, I think. I'm not exactly sure on that front, but I would believe so. That type of duality and vocal presence within a specific number is quite interesting. We've not gone into narrated heavy opportunities yet. There are a couple upcoming, I think, let's say, for example, what I know about Nightwish that might take on that lens. And a few that have interwoven, well, that's true to Zandria as well. There were certain numbers that spliced in that appearance if they chose to. And again, it's on a semblance helping, but there were a few that utilized that narration path for specifically the Dianne era, where in other places I didn't see that mimicked. I'm speaking largely, I guess, of the accompaniment narration, not from the lead artist, because you could say Manuela Crowther had some persistence of that within her, at least the first track from my memory to Neverworld's End. Anyway, enhanced appearances, again, of a ballad investigation for Dianne's capability. And again, whatever extreme she floats in, due to the aptitude of her voice, just again, that caliber of range and performance, truly a gifted witness that we're taking together in whatever encounter we have. And in the collaborative route, just as fulfilling, I think, on experience. And a first initiation encounter to Archie Caine, and a second of today, with more on the way. But leading into our next piece, that sounds like quite the procession. I'm curious to see where we go from here, but fully. But I really like this first entrance, again, told of an atmospheric and quite light on the, what's the word I'm looking for? Perhaps entrance or facade to the animated style. Again, it's mostly a pix reel, but done beautifully, and again, of a highly conceptual vibe that certainly matches, again, many facets of symphonic metal, notably of a fantasy edge, which Dianne is quite well placed in. Again, wherever her voice hits, notably in concerning Dianne, two quite harder songs amplification, but still with a mixed range, again, on that natural vibrato swing she has in that reach. But her voice sits nicely here, and she's a good fit in terms of an angel description, totally qualifies, right? I know anybody that's familiarized would agree, but for any of you new listeners to perhaps Dianne, or Archie Caine and Damian Wilson. What do you think of the pattern here in the organization between, I would say, an equivalency of vocal work paired with narration? I think it's an interesting melding, again, for a fantasy and conceptual song of what I get a perfect vibe of on this. I quite like it. It's an interesting differentiation to normality of how we normally approach symphonic metal works. And it's never bad to mix up the lineup, especially with one that allows artists' capabilities to be fleshed out in a much grander way. And with Dianne, again, that ballad extreme, highlighted very well. She's a perfect fit here, and I cannot wait to explore more of her collaborative work alongside you in future experiences that we're going to be taking together imminently. But for now, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on entrance to Archie Caine and Damian Wilson corresponding to that. But of course, our next entrance of Dianne. And how do you approach? Feel free to share down below. More developments upcoming in our journey with Dianne. I said an artist deep dive, and it very much is that, now going into chapter 3 of our journey, with a selection of the collaborations, and so far, I'm quite impressed on our first entry, with more to come. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.